Hi, I'm Kevin Henry, and welcome to Conversations with the Chief. This is a series of video segments where we look at what's going on with the Shoreline Police Department. Today we have 3 new officers that we're going to meet and talk to and find out more about their training experience. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. First to my right we have...
Hi, I'm Deputy Swanson with the King County Sheriff's Office, and I work with the Shoreline Police Department.
Hi, I'm Han An, and I'm a deputy with Shoreline Police Department.
Last but not least...
Hi, I'm Deputy Gluaymai with the King County Sheriff's Office, and I work for the City of Shoreline PD.
Okay, great. All right, so I have a series of questions for you all. We're going to find out what it's been like to start here anew at the Shoreline Police Department. And my first question is for you, Officer Kimberly. Tell us what you were doing before you got into law enforcement.
I have a scientific and technical background. Before I became a law enforcement officer, I made maps for 911 call routing.
Interesting. Okay, Officer Han, why or what made you decide to become a police officer?
So I have many reasons why I wanted to become a police officer, but to condense it into one sentence, I would say to restore the relationship between the community and the police. It hurts to see the public perception changing with the recent events, and I really wanted to know what it takes to be a police officer and really learn the job to help the community to have a safer environment and to restore the relationship.
That's great. Now, a lot of people might wonder, what does it take to become a police officer? So I wanted to ask you, Officer Mo, what is the hiring process like?
I have to say the process is very equitable. Everybody has to go through the same process to get to where we are today. You can start out by checking out publicsafetytesting.com, and then from there you put in your application, do the testing, pass your written and physical agility tests at the location. All the process takes the whole day, depending on which locations you're at. From there, for us, with the King County .gov, you go in and look for the jobs, or Google King County jobs. Look for the entry-level deputy sheriff's position or the lateral, and click apply, complete the online applications, as well as some of the supplemental questions. If it's satisfactory for the department, you'll get a call to set up an oral board interview, and then from there, it's a quick process. They screen people really well. Oral board panels consist of higher ups, sergeants, captains, detectives, etc. And then we go through psychological testing, polygraph, and then I believe one more captain interview. So I say it's like I said, it's equitable, and it's a good way of weeding out who's right for the job. So
Yeah, it's very important. It's very important to get the right person in a position like that, because it's such an important position, especially to the community that you're serving. Wanted to talk about the training academy. That might sound a little intimidating to some people, but we're going to find out more about what goes on at the training academy from you, Officer Kimberly.
So the Washington Criminal Justice Training Center puts on the Basic Law Enforcement Academy. It's a 720-hour academy that runs Monday through Friday, typically from 7:15 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The training consists of different topics, including patrol tactics, which would be like building searches, radio procedures, and things like that, to traffic, which includes DUI, investigations, collisions, traffic stops. There's also criminal investigations, which includes interviews, report writing, and crime scene processing. About 40 hours of crisis intervention training, which includes having someone, a mental health professional, come out and train the officers on interviewing or having a conversation with someone in crisis. And they also do mock scenes, so it gives the new recruits a chance to practice before they get out in the field, communicating with someone who's in crisis. And that's typically having a person portraying someone in crisis, so it gives you a good opportunity to practice.
Great. Thank you so much. So now, after you get out of the training academy, I've been told that you have to spend several months with a training officer. Tell us more about that.
So after the academy, we have post-training academy that consists of justice-based policing, de-escalation tactics, and defensive tactics, and more. And we basically learn more in terms of how King County enforces the law. And then after the post-training academy, we go into the field training officer. So I started a free week with the field training officer where we are not evaluated, and we basically learn and observe the entire week how the policing works. And we go into another 3 weeks of riding in a passenger seat of field training officer to learn more about how to do the job. And then after that, I had about 15 weeks of riding and operating on my own with the field training officer and the passenger side, basically being there to guide me to the right direction and to learn in a safe environment to make sure that I know my legal authority and do the job safely.
Great. Thank you. And my last question is for you, Officer Mo. We know that policing can be a tough profession, but I wanted to find out, what is the most satisfying thing about your work, and what's the most challenging?
I'm going to start off by saying it's never a dull moment. No call is ever the same. And being here in the city of Shoreline, it's like a great training ground for based on the variety of calls that we get out here, as well as getting the support from our management. We have a great chief, great captain, great sergeants, and great trainers in our department, and as well as the partners that we work with. I think for me, although these calls are challenging, it's also rewarding and very satisfying to be able to be out there with the community, be part of the community, and be able to just be present. I think most people appreciate us being there and be able to assist more than not. And I've yet to encounter any negativities out there. We have passerby that just, engage with us during our calls and just letting us know that they appreciate what we do and that, they appreciate that we're here. So I have to say, yeah, there's challenges, but definitely it's very rewarding. So.
Great. Well, thank you so much for spending a little time talking to us and giving us some insight into the work that you do, that a lot of times the public doesn't realize what goes on behind the scenes. They only see the police when they're, interacting with you all. So this is very informative and very educational. So remember to check out Conversations with the Chief. You can go to shorelinewa.gov/police. Click on Conversations with the Chief in the left-hand column and find out more about what's happening with your Shoreline Police Department. I'm Kevin Henry.